going back to that Renaissance man, right? Being informed in many areas of your life, and what that does is it pours value into self, right? And so that's a good segue into what Goldie asked me, right? So when there's value in self because you've done the work, you weren't lazy, right? You weren't lazy about doing the work about you, right? You read, right? You observed, you applied, you failed, you got back up until you got it right, right? You developed character. When you went through circumstances and situations, you didn't let your passions or the deceptions or the seductions keep you away from your principles and from your character. And that developed manhood in you. It developed trustworthiness in you, right? So when you speak, there is evidence behind your words. See, I'm talking about building the value of the man, right? And so when a woman comes in your presence and she begins to see this well-rounded individual, you think a woman wants security by money. Nah, bruh, that's that lie. The security she wants is within the man. How stable he is. Can she believe his word, right? Has he been tested? When trouble comes, do he act like her in the trouble, or do he tell her, don't worry about it, it's going to be all right? And when he says it, does he say it with conviction where she can believe it? See, that's the stability the woman needs and wants. But if you haven't done any homework with self, you haven't done it because you think, I'm going to go out there and party, right? You think everything is about partying or going to have some sex and you know what I'm saying? All those kind of things, right? But then what happens when a woman that you might be interested in, runs into an individual like myself?
So right.
What chance do you have? I mean, really, what chance do you have, right? You have to do the work in self. Every one of you out there, all the work you've been doing, 80% of your time, you spending, investing into her. And I'm not talking about one particular woman that you have. When I say invested in her, that means the chase for the woman. 80% of your time in your mind is all filled with going after the woman. I got to get me a girl. I got to go get some sex. I'm trying to bag this one. I'm trying to do 80% of your time, right? Where 80% of your time need to be invested in self. That's where it needs to be invested. But you know why it's not invested in self? Because you've never seen why it was important to be a man. Some of you've grown up without your daddy around, right? You've never seen interactions of how a father moves in his household. You've never seen that, right? And so there's no value that you see in that position because you've never seen it played out in your life, right? So there's no credence that you give to manhood. You give credence to womanhood because you've seen your mama play things out, right? And it's been a benefit, but it's been a curse to you at the same time. And I'm going to get to that. But I want to talk about this man for a minute, right? Yeah. So you've never seen, right, what it looks like for a father to take care of his household. So taking care of a household is something that's not important to you. You don't even see the value in that, right? Because that's a part of manhood that you have lacking, right? The pride of knowing that I'm vast enough to handle all of this. See, that's the position of a man. That's what God put you in the earth for. Don't you know that the Most High said, I'm going to put the man in the earth and give him dominion over everything. So when you think about taking care of your family, that's a part of dominion, right? But you don't give it any credence because you haven't seen dominion played out in your life. And that's a problem. So now you have young black males and Latinos and the like, right? With no value of manhood, giving their manhood away every day, making all the mistakes because they don't see no value in manhood. And that's why it's so easy for you to go kill somebody that look like you. Very easy. Like, fuck him. Who's he? Whatever. Woo, 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 woo. There's no value of manhood. Do you know it's virtually impossible for me to raise my hands up to another black man? It's virtually impossible, right? Because I love me so much. And he's a reflection of me, right? I love me so much. See, you don't love you. You think